Beautiful song. Thank you, Gary Lynn Floyd. You are so wonderful, and we are so blessed by all that you do. Okay, well, 'tis the season, and a woman just the other day was talking about her daughter, and her daughter is 4 and very excited about Christmas. And she happens to love baby Jesus. She's, in fact, crazy about baby Jesus. And so the other day, her mom went into her bedroom, her daughter's bedroom, and saw quite a few baby Jesuses in her daughter's room. And apparently, everywhere they'd been, if they went to someone's house or if someone had a nativity in the neighborhood, she'd gone around and collected baby Jesus from all of them. So they had to give them back. But this is the season to celebrate baby Jesus. And though we are focusing this month on the birth of Christ on earth through Jesus and the significance that it had then and the significance that it has today, this coming Friday at our holiday sing-along, along with the traditional carols that hail that significant birth on earth. We'll also be singing about Santa and reindeer and snowmen. And as mentioned, we've invited Santa to make an appearance. And it's all good, and it's all holy, and it's all reverent, because it's all about joy to the world, about that joy that gives meaning to Christmas. A Course in Miracles, as we talked about last week, tells us that the time of Christ is meaningless apart from joy. And even though the time of Christ is any time and all the time, because the only true presence in any moment is the Christ every time, and even though the Christ is the reason for every season, Christmas is an excellent season for us to become more aware of that holy presence. That would have been awkward. The Christ is the universal, shimmering light of the holy offspring of God. The pure, positive, creative energy that creates worlds as it eternally expands in every dimension of existence. It cannot be completely expressed by any form of life. It isn't a person or a thing, and yet it is every person and everything. And through the power of choice that is the essence of Christ in us, every choice we make for joy, every choice we make for love, every choice we make for peace gives meaning to the time of Christ as us. The Christ is the only true presence within all life everywhere, including right where we are. Even when we're not aware it's there. It's where we're there. It's God's one creation, the one Son of God sent forth on an eternal, holy mission of expansion. The fullness of Christ is present at all times. Not just in bits and pieces, here and there, like when we see a radiant sunrise or a peaceful sunset. not just in a pristine forest or a beautiful crystal clear lake, and not just through certain individuals like Jesus. The truth of Christ is behind, beneath, within, and beyond all that appears to be anyone or anything at any time. The way of the heart tells us the Christ is the holy child of God. Christ joins you with that part of yourself, capital S, that abides always in perfect knowledge, perfect peace, perfect knowingness, and in perfect union with your Creator. Jesus experienced the reality of his perfect union with his Creator, the shimmering source of all life. And because he did, his divine self-expression on earth became so powerful. We're still talking about it 2,000 years later. Jesus lived his earth life in the high, holy, vibrational awareness of his inseparable oneness with God. And miracles occurred all around him. For Jesus, there was nothing but the Christ to see or to be. Abraham Hicks tells us, when you sat before Jesus and you were dripping your illness, whatever it was, he did not see your illness. He was not focused upon the conditions that had manifested. He was unconditional in his awareness of the holy, vibrational countenance of you. We don't need to become more spiritual than we are right now for miracles to occur all around us. We can decide not to focus on the conditions that have manifested, however they've manifested, wherever they've manifested, and unconditionally focus on the vibrational, energetic countenance of Christ within ourselves and everyone else. We don't need to be more holy to become aware of our perfect union with our Creator and to live in the same perfect knowledge that Jesus did, because that knowledge is present everywhere, all the time, in every moment. It's always there for us to know. We're no less spiritual, even in our earthly form, than Jesus was. And we're no less the Christ in our non-physical cosmic soul than Jesus was. In the book of Romans, we read, "Do not imitate the way of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may discern what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." And the way of transformation adds, and what will does the Father have? Save that you be happy by returning to the peace that forever passes understanding. All we need to do to be able to discern the good and acceptable and perfect will of God is to stop imitating the world We don't need to become more holy or more spiritual, but we do need to become more spiritually focused and to see, as the song said so beautifully this morning, every step as holy. We need to be more aware of that pure spirit that is within us and within all life. Only then will the same mind be in us that was in Christ Jesus. Nothing has changed in over 2,000 years about the Christ that was and is and always will be all that is. The same Christ fills the universe today as it always has, because God's creation is unchangeable. The world is changeable. The forms of creation are changeable. But nothing can change the holy substance of creation's spiritual reality. Creation can and does extend and expand, but it can't change from its original state of grace. The spiritual teacher Mooji wrote in his book, Breath of the Absolute, "We are never without grace. We can never be abandoned. It is always there. God can never abandon mankind. Without God, there would be no Christ. And without the Christ, there would be no mankind." Only our awareness of the Christ in us and in all that is can change. It can become less or more present in our mind through our resistance to the truth of the one we are, or through our allowing that truth to be the one we are. How many of us, even right now, still feel uncomfortable with the idea that the Christ of God's creation lives in us? I mean, how many of us feel unworthy to even contemplate such an idea? Abraham Hicks tells us it is not necessary that you fully understand the complexities of this eternally expanding environment in order to reap the benefits of that which it has become. But it is necessary that you find a way to go with the flow of the well-being that is stretched out before you. There is only one stream of well-being that flows. You can allow it or resist it, but it flows just the same. With so much spiritual potential for us to live on this earth, with so much peace and love and joy for us to share with each other. We can let this Christmas time be the time we find a way to go with the flow of well-being, and let that same Christ that lived as Jesus on earth, live as us while we're here. Now, as you know, if you heard the video or you were here last Sunday, this month we're exploring how certain Christmas carols and songs can be arranged in such a way that they can tell the story of what happens within us or can happen within us and through us as we allow Christ to be reborn into our awareness, and to allow it in such a deep and unconditional way that there's no difference to us. No matter what anyone else may see as us, that there's no difference to us between the Christ born on earth as Jesus and the Christ that has been born on earth as us. So we began last Sunday with Deck the Halls because, like we've been saying, the time of Christ is meaningless without joy. And so we began by knowing that if we are to experience and increase our awareness of the Christ, that joy is the key. And as it's been mentioned today, the title is O Holy Night. And there's a story going on. So, we all know that if we're looking for something in the dark with a flashlight, we don't shine the light in our eyes. We'd be blinded by the light if we did, and we couldn't see a bloody thing. We know that we have to shine the light from us toward what we want to see. In the same way, if we believe only a selected few carry the light of Christ on earth, and we're looking for that light outside ourselves, we'll be looking at that light and we won't be able to see a holy thing. If we try to find it in another without experiencing its holy light in us, we'll be blinded to the truth of who we are. If we want to see the Christ in this world, to see the Christ in all our brothers, we have to shine the light of Christ from within us into the world. The Way of Transformation offers an exercise to help us expand our awareness of the Christ in us. In Christmas time's the perfect time for us to expand that light. So we start by closing our eyes, and I'll ask all of you here and all of you wherever you are, except if you're driving, to close your eyes. Because our eyes are so used to focusing on this world that we imitate it. We just want to go into that place within us beyond imitation. And the Way of Transformation tells us just take a moment. And within your consciousness, drop this simple pebble. I am not what I have perceived myself to be. I am unlimited, pure spirit, and nothing is unavailable to me. Therefore, in this moment, I choose to open access to other dimensions of experience so that I might call this moment to me in a different way. And so let us just be still And allow that simple pebble of thoughts to just be. Let us breathe with it. And let it drop into the holiness of that deeper place within us. And let us open access within us. Just let go of any resistance, and just for this moment, allow the light of Christ that fills every dimension within us, fill us right now in our conscious awareness of who we are. In the holy darkness of the yet to be known in us, let us, just for this moment, allow access for the truth of our being to come into our mind, as it did into the mind of Christ Jesus. And if we allow it to, we will discover that we are the light of the world. Just breathe and open and allow. And when you're ready, open your eyes. We can only see Christ in this world by letting the light of the Christ shine from us and into this world. No one can shine our light for us. That light is always present in the holy darkness of self-contemplation and in the bright light of divine self-expression. When we open access to it at any time, we change our experience of that moment. Anytime we let joy bubble up within us, in any moment that we allow peace to calm us, and if ever we love without conditions, no matter how brief that experience is within us, we are discerning the good and acceptable and perfect will of God. We are experiencing the reality of our perfect unity with the only Creator there is. The Creator that Jesus was, as he walked the earth, aware of. That shimmering light that he is now. There's only one Creator. And that Creator has created everything and everyone. So, if we want, if we choose to let the power of choice remind us that it is the essence of Christ in us, we can let this season be the reason we allow the light of Christ to light up the world through us. In the book of Romans, we read, "For the creation eagerly awaits with anticipation for God's sons to be revealed." Namaste. All right. Okay, well, we're back. Whew, what a trip. All right, well, this is the time of our service when we say thank you. Thank you for tripping with us. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your participation, for your love, for your physical support being here, for your presence being there. Just thank you for allowing this to be of value to you. And if you'd like this particular form of the message of love, the message of Christ, to continue on so that it fills you more and more with excitement about being more and more of who you are, and you don't know how to support LEC financially so that can happen, then our Dr. Jamie is here to tell you how.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Okay, if you would like to donate to the Life Enrichment Center and you're not here today in person, you can go to facebook.com/Life Enrichment Center and hit the donate button. You can go to our website, lecflint.com, and hit the donate button. You can donate via PayPal, and I'll give you our email address for PayPal. It's lec2512@gmail.com. Or you can just send a check to our new mailing address, which is Life Enrichment Center, P.O. Box 321294, Flint, Michigan 48532. That's all the ways, right?
You did
pretty
it.
fast today.
Woo!
Own it. Okay, and here in the sanctuary, we're going to take an offertory, and while we do that, we're going to listen to Marcia Allen, Jason Phillips, and Jason's watching today, and Larry Manderville doing Grateful, and then Reverend Stephanie will be back with a gratitude prayer. Thank you.